searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, this is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement. Yeah, there's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience. Yeah, in this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be.
Welcome in, everybody. How are we all doing tonight? I hope we're fantastic. Hope we're all ready for another amazing race presented by Wheelspin Racing, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the WSR Porsche Cup Season 5, Round 2. Last time around, for Round 1, which was 2 weekends ago, ladies and gentlemen, we saw these guys kick it off at Spa. And man, oh man, let me tell you what, these Pro Am drivers, and do not let Pro Am fool you here today, folks, are blazing fast. Pro Am here at WSR Porsche Cup is split 2. So if that gives you any inclination of how fast these Pro Am drivers are going to be, they're going to be fast. Top level drivers here in this division. So after round 1, there was a re-split allocation. It's just the way it works within Porsche Cup Series here, and we're going to see some drivers jump around throughout the series. We have most of our returning drivers from last time around. A couple new faces, so we'll have to see. We could have just been missing drivers that weren't here last time, but it's going to be very interesting to see here. We did have Joker in the lobby last week, and he, I believe, went up into split 1 this weekend. So a little bit of moving around here, but this is a part of the series. These guys all know what's going on with that. So with that being said, let's talk about the series. Today we are in Barcelona, so we're in Spain here this weekend, and we're going to race Catalunya, no chicane layout. So again, it's the Porsche 911 RSR 2017 GT3 car. All these drivers are required to drive here, and it is mandatory soft and medium racing tires. Now the only way, of course, that changes if there is weather involved, i.e. rainy conditions. Then they are obviously allowed to use the wet tires, and then the tire mandate is then invalid essentially. Alright, of course the Academy split does things a little bit differently. They're in the group floor cars, but those are the guys that are learning and just picking up their pace and having a great time, getting ready to hopefully make it up into one of the higher divisions next season. So it's a great little series that they have there. We also got those drivers that are just on the bubble of getting in, sitting there practicing, training, and racing the events as well. And we will start the feature race today with a qualifier of 10 minutes. The feature race will be 18 laps. After that feature race, we will move into a sprint race, which will be 9 laps. That sprint race, however, is reverse grid through the top 10 based off the finishing order of the feature race. So a little twist there makes it a little bit interesting. Now, that takes up about a 30-minute feature race, and it's about a 15-minute sprint race is how that works out, give or take. Let's see what else we got. We got balance of performance is on. There's no tuning. Slipstream is weak. We have visible damage on heavy. We have 45 liters of fuel in these cars, and no fuel in qualifying. Flag rules are off. This is all live officiated, ladies and gentlemen. What else do we have? Weather is random. It's a time multiplier of 5. I'm not sure what the tire multipliers are. I'm missing them here somewhere. That's alright, irrelevant details. We'll keep going here. So, well, we have a few minutes. We're about 9 minutes away from race start, so let's show some love to the community as always. Welcome in Paul and Nolander B fam, coming in with that like and that share. Appreciate that extra support with that share, my guy, Paulie B. Hope you're doing fantastic as always, my dude. Absolute OG over here at the page. We appreciate everybody. We're just going to do a little check, make sure everything is working A-OK. Multiple shares there coming from Nolander. We have T-Sad Mayao also coming in with the like and the share as well. Much love, we appreciate that. I hope I said that right. I apologize if I didn't. Alright, everything's looking pretty good. Everything's looking juicy. How we all doing today? We ready for a race? I gotta tell you, these guys put on a pretty incredible race last time around. So I really don't know what to expect here. Obviously, we've had an update change this week, midweek here from Gran Turismo 7, so the drivers have had to get on track and do a lot of testing and a lot of dialing these cars in. Of course, a big physics update, big changes in all the balance performance for the cars, especially the Group 3 cars. A lot has changed in the last 72 hours here in the Gran Turismo 7 virtual sim racing world. And it's going to be interesting to see how all the drivers have adapted to the new physics change. Personally, myself, as a content broadcaster and, of course, a racer, I think it was a great quality of life update. I think they put some skill back into driving the race cars in the game again. I think it was some great improvements that they made. So, with that also being said, ladies and gentlemen, that means we have keyboard functions again as broadcasters, which means, ladies and gentlemen, for a very long time, we have been missing one of the best effects here during our live productions at GT45 Gaming. We've been missing our live replays. They're back. We have live replays back. Get to see even more of the action that we miss on track here now as well. So, it's going to be a pretty great day today. Hey, what's up, Leandro? How you doing? Let's go. Looking sounds good. Appreciate you, Nolander. So I'm just looking through the field here right now, pressing all my fancy little keyboard buttons. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm not going to lie. They work fantastic, by the way. And the guys are working hard out here. Gonna have to get used to using the keyboard again, Chad, I tell you. So one thing they have done differently from Sport on the keyboard options is they've allowed us different camera angles as well. So nothing new, but better functionality. So we're hoping that that provides some better broadcast ability for everybody as you guys viewers at home. Now, again, Wheel Spin Racing is the presenters of this amazing Porsche Cup Series. This is the best GT7 Porsche Cup Series out there when it comes to GT7 Porsche Cup Racing Series. And it's just undisputed, ladies and gentlemen. So we're in for a treat here today. It's an absolute honor to be in the booth and broadcast these amazing race car drivers here to your big screens at home. So I hope we're ready because we're getting there. We're 5 minutes. So let's bring up Catalunya. Now, I don't have the version with the no chicane layout, but it's the exact same racetrack minus one little spot. So here we go. Our track map, ladies and gentlemen, again provided by Miss Devious, our special operations administrator here at GT45 Gaming. Much love to Miss Devious for all the beautiful work she puts into these maps. So on our screen in front of us is Barcelona to Catalunya. This is the chicane layout, but the only difference is where the chicane is, the drivers just continue in a loop. So at the bottom, just right side center of the screen on the track, on the very long straightaway in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see a little blue circle, and in that blue circle is a little white arrow. That little white arrow is pointing to the left. The drivers will be running around the racetrack in that direction. So let's do a little virtual tour around Barcelona. So the lights are going to go green, the drivers are going to take off. We're moving left on our screen here towards the track key. That is turn number 1, and they call that Elf here, ladies and gentlemen. It is a S sector, so you come in on a very high speed braking zone, go into a set of S's. You come out of those S's up towards the left center of the track map now into a corner called Renault. It's a very long, sweeping right-hand corner. You can get on the power quite early there, earlier than a lot of drivers would think they can. From there, that takes us up to the top left of the track map into another section called Repsol. This is another sweeping corner, a lot tighter though, a little more low speed here. You want to get a good setup and a good run out coming into the seat, which is a very difficult, hard braking zone left-hand corner. We start to come back down through towards the bottom center of the track map again on the in part of the map now, and that takes us into corner 7. And I can't remember what the name of that corner is, but it's a nice sharp left-hander. That takes us up into a little set of S's, and then that takes us into the top center of our map campus. And that is a very high-speed, sweeping, interesting corner. You got to be patient with the corner. You get on the throttle too early, you're going to find yourself going out wide on the exit, and the stewards aren't going to like that. They're going to hand you out a penalty. So from there we come down, and the little yellow marker you see in the map right in the center almost, that is where the drivers will have to serve their penalties if they are in a penalty serving there. That is where the penalties are served here in Barcelona. Doesn't hurt you too much because you are coming into a braking zone at that point. So from there we head down towards the right side of the map into La Caixa, right? I always have a hard time with that one. And then it takes us up into another set of S's, up into Bank de Sabadell, which is a nice little right-hand hairpin again. And then we go into Eurocar. So on the top right-hand part of the screen, instead of making that hard right-hand 90-degree corner and doing that little S sector you see there, ladies and gentlemen, these drivers are just going to go around a nice sweeping little corner that connects back up with the exit of the chicane, and then they'll come back around the final corner. So Eurocar turns into a corner without the chicane, and that leads us into New Holland and back down into the start-finish line. So that's a little bit about what we could expect to see here today. You guys are working hard. Stop. Yeah, I can't say that. Let's try Leandro. Oh, funny guy. Funny guy. So we're just a few minutes away here. We're at 11:58. Let's take you over to the big screen. Let's see what we see here, shall we? Alright, so on the screen in front of us, the guys are just running some practice laps right now. They're just warming up. So we got Dennis, F1 Dennis, up in the grid here today. We have WSR's Jojo. We've got RTI Nick. We've got Deathatron 105. I didn't see that driver in this division last time around. We've got Droopy Designs as well here in 5th. We've got Darth Prince. We've got Philantis here in 7th. His name is awesome. We've got Sol Invictus here sitting there in 8th on the grid. I know a little bit about this driver most recently as well. He's pretty quick, so it's nice to see him there. We've got, we missed one. We've got DMR Gotti, our host here this evening. We've got Jim Dunny again, back on track here. We've got Jodo. Not Jojo, Joto. I know these. I don't know what these guys are trying to do to me here today. We've got Collard in 12th place, and we've got Lead here in 13th. So there is scheduled to be 15 drivers here today, but right now only 13 sitting currently on the racetrack. So we're going to be underway here real shortly. Last time around, these guys were right on the button when it came to race start time. So we wanted to make sure that we were right on the button when it came down to my thing. And I'm just going to bring up the track map for a second here again, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe, if I can find it. No, I don't have it here. I got to reset the screen. So you're going to see some ugly for a second. See a lovely little blue screen of Elgato. And then we'll have the screen back again. Alright. There we go. Now we got some sound. Fantastic. Alright, rock and roll. Every time I change my overlays, I always have to reset my capture card, and I forget. Testing out the pit stop delta here. A little bit of strategy coming from the drivers. They got a nice half-second penalty there on that on Nick. Jodo in 4th here. Nexus Racing. Nice little livery on that car. Nice, clean, simple. Like the blue as well. We got Prince. He's brought out the dyno livery. We love the dyno liveries on the Porsches here. They're fantastic stuff. We got Sol Invictus here. He's coming around in 6th place as well. Everybody else seems pretty content right now for the most part. Yeah. Alright. well, let's jump on board with Dennis here as he's coming around. Currently the fastest man in the practice laps here so far. No AT guys, ATK guys, no, not out in this one. Not that I've seen anyways. I can cheer for anyone now since I've invested interest in anyone. That's so true. We got Edom coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a family-friendly broadcast, as it always is here during our live commentary at GT45 Gaming, no matter what league it is that we're broadcasting for. Today, it is Wheel Spins Racing's Porsche Cup. So, we're going to see... I'm not sure what we're going to see today. The physics update is going to throw a little bit of a question mark into the race here today. So, it's going to be interesting. Should be spicy. It's definitely going to be spicy. And I mean, these drivers are quick. They're just absolutely very, very, very fast. And you can see there where you would normally turn right to go through the chicane. These guys just get a nice high-speed corner. Really makes for some good racing, good setup attempt moves coming into, of course, Elf turns 1 and 2. So, should be interesting today. What else we got here? We're just testing our buttons out here. We're making sure everything's working nice and good with our keyboard. Everything's looking great. We still got camera rotation. Fantastic. Love it. Juicy. Alright, so in my own experience so far on track since the update with the physics change, of course, as a racer as well as a broadcaster, I have to be on track to get a feel for what the game is like driving these race cars now. There's some pretty significant changes that were made within the physics model and the tire model, and of course the BOP to balance the performance in these cars. So every driver has to go put some work in now and refigure everything out, so that could affect the pace of the drivers, could affect the consistency of the drivers. Drivers, you know, the feedback, the force feedback in the wheels especially now is a lot more heavier, it's more aggressive. You really got to work that wheel now. It seems like the MR cars, like the Porsche 911 RSR that we're racing here today, have become very strong. Now, the Porsche 911 has always been a pretty strong car in Gran Turismo 7. Definitely standing very tall on cars, very fun to drive right now with the new physics updates. So I think we'll see some good racing. But with that being said, you know, in true MR fashion, it's very easy to get this car to step out from underneath of you as well, and that can create a pretty gnarly spin in these Porsche 911s as well. So it's going to be the drivers battling the game changes right now, I think, this week, and it's going to be interesting to see how they all sort that out here. We'll find out an 18-lap feature and of course a 9-lap sprint race. They're running just a little bit behind today, which is not ideal. You see a lot of these drivers, man, they've been absolutely putting in the work here. He was on a 15-lap run there, almost running a full mock race there already here, just in practice. So yeah, like I said, you know, new physics changed. A lot of these drivers have put in a lot of work over the last few months to get to their paces and their racecrafts within the physics of the game, and then the game turned around and just slapped a big curveball on everything and then changed it all up. So, however, I do think it's for the better. I think that they've made the changes for the physics for the better. I think that it requires more skill to actually drive the cars now. It seems like the times that the GT3 cars are getting around the racetracks in comparison to what real GT3 cars in real life on these real racetracks are getting are a lot more close, more realistic now. Beforehand, I think that the cars in the game were quite a bit faster than the real life GT3 car for the most part in the real world. So it's nice. It's just, yeah, great update I thought so far. So it's going to make for some good racing here in the leagues over the next coming probably week or two while all the drivers get readjusted to the new physics and tire models. So there is tire wear, of course, in the series, and there is fuel consumption. So it's only 1 time fuel consumption. I think it's only 2 or 3 times tire wear. It is not too aggressive here, but at the speeds these drivers drive these cars around these racetracks, they definitely eat up the rubber on these race tires. So looks like we got a driver that's going to pull off here. Yeah, looks like we're getting ready to start this thing off. Alright. that is what it looks like, and it looks like we're going to be heading the field of 13 drivers here today, folks. So, going to be interesting. So, before we get qualifying underway, let's do me a favor here, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't liked or shared the stream out already, if you wouldn't mind doing so, that'd be absolutely fantastic. It's just a couple free things we can do to help the page grow. And if you're not following the page or subscribed to the YouTube channel, and you would like to see more races like this, just go ahead and hit that button. Turn on all your bell notifications and we'll be notified every time we go live and every time there's a race on your big screen. We'll be there to bring it to you, so we appreciate all that support, and thank you for being here as well. We appreciate you just being here and seeing what we're doing here today. So let's go. We're just keeping it calm right now, chat. Everybody's like, "Ghost, you're so quiet today. You're just chilling." Yeah, that's because I know that things are about to heat up in this comms box here tonight. So we're just saving it for when it matters, for when the action happens here on the racetrack. And wow, there's gonna be some good battling here, I think, today. We got 8 drivers currently out on track right now, running their paces, running their laps. Jump on board with JoJo here, and you can see somebody knock the barriers out on the track, so that's always fun. Those barriers are hard too. It's pretty funny. So it looks like we're going to be getting underway here right away, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go Soul, since he's the coolest name in here. Hey, he's also one of the competitors against some of your drivers. Alright, I'm not used to having an extra keyboard sitting in front of me here. This is going to take a little bit of fine movement on my part here today, so we'll see how it goes. Let's jump on with Soul here. It's the only driver in the whole field that I actually know and have spoken to, so quick driver. Be interested to see what he's going to do here today as he's coming in. Flashing them headlights a little bit. I'm not sure how they changed the controller gaming part too for the controller drivers here in GT7, so I'm not exactly sure how this affected controller drivers yet, but with the tire model change, it could definitely affect league racing for controller drivers. So if you're a controller driver, let us know what you think so far of the changes as far as being on a controller is in the game. Jerry came on here. Oh, you guys are great. What else we got? Everybody's out on track here now, so. Ted Tracks Racing, we were missing him. Okay, so that was one of our drivers missing in the lobby here today. Oh, look at that. We are stacked and packed, ladies and gentlemen. We've got this Vanderspec and Ted Tracks Racing up in the house. They were our other 2 drivers missing here in the field today. So we have a stacked grid of 15 drivers today. This is going to be fantastic. You can see in this live timing and practice here, the times are fairly close together for the most part, within a tenth or less of each other. So the top 8 have times in right now. The top 9 have times in right now. Ooh, we got that all kinds of wrong right there. And that's going to bring out the yellow flag on the racetrack under racing conditions. That was a hard hit into the wall right there. This man is just putting in some work here. Racing awareness there by Ted Tracks Racing. As you see that car coming around, you can see it's starting to get dark here too on the racetrack. So this lobby's about an hour in now, so maybe we'll be seeing some darkening conditions during race conditions here. I'm not exactly sure why we're so delayed here today. learn something new. Didn't know that. Alright, I dig it. Cool. Thanks for that, Leo. See the inside of those Porsches just lighting up as they're coming around the racetrack here. I'm trying to find a driver that's right near the start of the racetrack here so we can do a little bit of an online to tie a track map in for everybody. Maybe we'll sit here with Jim as he's coming around. He's just coming into La Casa right here right now. Ooh, got that a little spicy. And then that takes us into Bank de Sabadell, and you can see a sweeping right-hand corner here, ladies and gentlemen, and that takes us into a straightaway. Now, normally here you'd start setting up for a turn right here, but no chicane, so you just get this nice wide open run around Eurocar, and that takes us into the final call corner here, New Holland. So let's see if we get one lap around here before we get this thing going from Jim. So we're coming up the start-finish line here, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's do a lap around Barcelona. So it's a long straightaway here. You can see these cars are really winding it out. You're on the brakes just at this orange marker here. As you come into Elf, it's a little S sector. You just want to clip both those apexes and just control your throttle. You're going to keep it in here. You want to keep this apex for as long as you can, and then put it on the throttle right about here, and just let the car's momentum carry you all the way out. Now that was Renault right there. And then that takes us into Repsol, another sweeping hairpin corner right here. And a little bit wide there, but that's going to allow him to get a decent exit here. As you can see, a little bit of car slide coming from that Porsche, maybe a little understeer there. That takes us into a hard braking zone, down into first gear potentially as we come through here. And then that takes us up into the next set of S's. So here it's a bit of a mid-speed sector. You got to be careful. You get on the power too soon. There's a little bump right there, as you can see, where he just got unsettled actually. It can throw that car sideways, so that now takes us into campus. And just a long sweeping corner. You gotta be careful on exit there. You gotta keep at least 2 tires on the track surface, or there's a good possibility you're gonna get slapped with a track limit penalty from the stewarding officials here on track. Then again, back into La Caixa. That takes us into the S's right here at Sabadell. And then, of course, that final sweeping run through Eurocar and New Holland to finish the lap off. So, a little bit of a virtual lap around Barcelona to Catalunya. No chicane layout here, ladies and gentlemen, provided by our driver, Jim Dunny, here today. So, thank you to Jim for a pretty decent lap around Catalunya to Barcelona. It looks like it's going to be about a 41-2. So, good stuff there from Jim. Alright, so Invictus now up into 3rd place, so driver's starting to get locked in. You can definitely see they're starting to find time here, but it all comes down to what happens during racing conditions. So I think everybody's just getting ready to fire up here. So we got one guy just popped off. You can tell who the ACC drivers are because they pull off to the side of the track, come to a complete stop, and then exit the track. You can tell that that player plays ACC. To the box. Interesting. Look at you, are just full of knowledge today, my guy. Got our man of knowledge up in the chat here today. Alright, so I'm not exactly sure what the whole up is here, but I got some of that here, so we need to get going. Fantastic. Let's go. Alright, so now we're under qualifying conditions here. 10-minute qualifier, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to give these drivers at this pace 6-7 laps around the racetrack here. So we're just going to wait to see who got out first. Right now it says Dennis. We're going to stay on with that driver. Oh, there we go. So it's Ted Trax Racing. He's going to be the first driver out on track here today. So we're going to jump on board with Ted Trax Racing as he takes us around Barcelona to start qualifying. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are officially underway here now today for WSR Porsche Cup Season 5, Round 2. And round 1 was a pretty good race at Spa. This one should provide to be a pretty good race too. We got one driver out way out into the marbles there on those cold tires here in qualifying. So definitely trying to warm them up the hard way, sliding them around that racetrack. It's going to be interesting to see. Now the Porsche used to be a pretty smooth car to drive for the most part. It's developed a little bit of understeer now, of course, since the physics update. So the drivers are going to have to manage that. And you do have to be careful, of course, on your braking in this car as well, because you get too hard on the brakes with a little bit of steering angle, and it can definitely hurt your cause here. So we're going to jump on with, I think it's Joto, that's in the blue car here. Ah, there we go, the game finally corrected it. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to jump on with Joto here now as he's the lead car. Coming around into near the end here, as we're just coming around Sabadell. That's going to lead us into Eurocar, New Holland, and then we're going to start our qualifying laps officially. So once he gets around these final two corners, he's going to make that charge to the start-finish line. He needs a really good exit here. You just want to sweep out. Ooh, might have taken a little too much curve there as he came out. Well, to see if he gets penalized for that. But here we go as we come around the start our official qualifying laps here at round 2. So it is going to be Joto leading things off here as he comes into Elf, and a little bit wide there coming around the first corner, and that's going to compromise his exit here just a little tiny bit. We got to get a good setup here now into Renault. And it looks like he got on the power nice and early there. He's going to take a nice, good sweeping exit there, so nice and early on the power. As he's coming into Repsol here now, a little bit of a tighter hairpin here, so a little more braking, a little more throttle control. Then you got to set up for this really hard left-hander, and you got to be careful with this. You can absolutely get it. Ooh, we had Ted Tracks Racing has dropped out of the room here, so a little bit of a connection issue maybe there for Ted Tracks. We'll have to see how they play that out, but for now, qualifying continues as it's Joto coming around here in. Ooh, and there we go. That's that bump. We were talking about that bump, ladies and gentlemen. That bump, if you get on the throttle at the wrong time in that bump, it could do exactly what we just seen there. Joto put that car sideways, and he managed to do a good job of keeping it out of the wall there. But boy, scary moment in qualifying there for Joto. So this is Darth Prince here coming around now as he comes through the start-finish line here, and we'll see what he has when he puts his time down for the first one. And we're going to see these guys just get quicker and quicker, I'm sure, of course, as qualifying goes on. But the first lap typically is just a banking lap for these drivers, and then they settle into their rhythms. So it's going to be a 41.3 for Darth. So it's going to be Joto. Nope, it's going to be 2. Nicky's coming through here, and he's out of line, so the timing's out of line. Alright, so Nick up into 5th, Joe in 7th here. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but the live timing just did not make that work in my favor. Alright, Dennis coming around. That's going to put him up into 2nd place. We've got Deathatron. That's going to put him up at the 8th. Jojo is going to put him down into up into 10th. Sorry, we got Soul here now, and we got 2 drivers down here all of a sudden. We started with 15. We did. Soul might have had a penalty on that lap, so he doesn't have a lap in. So right now it's Gotti currently sitting in pole position. He's 1/10 ahead of Dennis, sitting in 2nd place. We have Vanderspec here in 3rd. We've got Philantis in 4th. We've got Prince in 5th. We've got Jim there in 6th. He gave us a great onboard lap just a little while ago. We have Droopy Designs in 7th. We've got Deathatron here in 8th. We have a car moving quite slow there. Lead in 9th. We've got Jojo here in 10th, and maybe some damage on that car, I'm thinking, as he's moving really, really slow. We got Nick in 11th, Joto in 12th, and Soul here in 13th. So I'm not sure what the call is going to be here. Those drivers just might have to come back in and start at the back of the pack. I'm not 100% sure what the ruling is going to be on that particular situation, but we need to find. Alright, to stay on with our pole sitter here as he comes around, and then we'll try to get back onto that lead car here. It's going to be a 40.355. So Vance back up into pole position. That's going to leave Gotti sitting in second place here now. So let's see if we can find the front of this pack here. There it is. Alright, so Darth Prince will be the first driver to come around next here. Currently sitting in P7. And let's see what he does as he comes around. Let's see if he can improve on that. A 40.753 as well. So 7th place is only separated by less than a second currently from our pole sitter right now, who is Jojo, who has better van specs time as well. So these drivers are just relentless. They're not gonna. They all want that pole position, and they're all gonna absolutely send it to the best of their ability here. So one of our drivers back in. So we're going to sit with Prince here as he comes around, and then we're going to try and catch who the next driver in behind him is. I have a hard time recognizing the livery still. I'm just fairly new to the series myself here, so welcome in everybody. And Darth coming around, so here we go as we come around Eurocar. He's leading into New Holland there. Oh, he just about let that car go a little too wide there, but he looks like he's going to avoid the penalty, and he gets a little bit of a shallow exit due to it, so going to compromise his exit speed a little bit, but it's good enough for a P3 jump there, so good lap there by him. Let's see who's next. Alright, there we go. We got Jim. He's going to come around. Not going to do an improvement here. We've got Gotti's going to come around. He's not going to improve there. He's going to stay in P6 as well. Who is next? Let's go find another driver coming through here. Jodo's going to stay in 11th here. We've got Phalantis coming around right now. Let's see if he can grab some time here. Currently sitting in 12th place here in qualifying. Murs setting a new record of 39.8, so that's going to be Dennis up in the pole position there, and that was not an ideal lap there for our 12th place driver. So Dennis now sitting in pole position, 8/1000ths ahead of Jojo here in second, who's got 3/10 on Vanderspec, who's got a 10th on Prince, who's got 100th on Droopy Designs, who's got 500ths on Soul Invictus, who's got 2 100ths on Gotti, who's got 1.5 tenths on Nick, who's got 1.5 tenths currently on Deathatron, who's got about a half second on Jim there in 10th place. So a little bit of separation there, and then it's right back down to the hundreds again between him and Jodo. 3 100ths between him and Phalantis. It's only 1.5 tenths between him and Lead. So with the exception of that one couple 3/10 and a half second gap there, these drivers are insanely close here qualifying. YouTube is better to watch on because you can adjust the visual quality and you can zoom in to fill the screen up. Hey, that is a good point. That is a good point over there on YouTube, my man. Appreciate you, Sam. Not wrong. I find the audio quality is a little bit better too, actually. So it is Dennis here sitting in pole. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we've got Vanderspec just coming around here right now. Let's see if he can improve here. Looks like a pretty decent time. It's an improvement. No, it's actually not an improvement. It's going to be 3, but Gotti coming in there in behind with a 40.068, so that's going to move him up into 3rd place. Who else have we got coming through here? Oh, there he is. And we'll go on with Phalantis here as he is around, and he is going to be sitting on about a 41. It's going to be a little 41. There's a 41.1, so still P12 here for him currently. So Dennis still in pole. Jodo very close behind. That is so close. So close. Gotti here now up into 3rd place. Of course, Vanderspec just in behind with Soul Invictus very close in behind as well in 5th place there. It's just close. It's separated by less than a tenth between each driver almost until we get to about the mid-pack of the field. Top 8 still less than a second from the lead. Of course, penalty there. That's not going to help that lap any for Nick. That's at 10th place is where we finally find that 1 second gap from pole position. So our top 10 drivers are within a second of each other. So that's about a 10th separation from 1st to 10th place essentially. That's going to make for some pretty good racing, I think. Let's see if we can find that front driver. Here we go. Soul Invictus is going to be coming around here, and let's see what he's got in. This is his final lap here as well. Let's see what he's got. Oh, it's a very low 40. It's a 40.102. It's going to put him up into 4th there. Let's see who else we can find coming through here. Somebody closer. Nope. All right, we're gonna. Ooh, we got a guy driver down and out there. Let's jump on with Jim here as he comes through. It's gonna be a 40.754, but it's still P10 for him. Oh, there we go. Where was it? There we go. Jojo in P3 still. We got another driver coming through there. Looks like it's going to be Vanderspeck coming through at the last second with a pole steal there. Who else we got on track still? We got one more coming around, if I can find them. There it is. And it is Jodo here in 11th place, and that's not going to be a good lap, so that is not going to be an improvement there for Jodo. So it's Vanderspeck in pole with a 139.666. Great job to him. Dennis in second place with Jojo in third, Gotti in fourth, Sol Invictus in fifth, Darth Prince in sixth, Droopy Designs in seventh, Nick in eighth. It's Deathatron in ninth, Jim Dunny in 10th, Jodo in 11th, Phalantis in 12th, Lead in 13th, Tetrax in 14th, and the other driver should be here as well. So now we wait, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the screen here for a second. Let's chat about it a little bit more. Let's have another little chit-chat about Barcelona here real quick, shall we? Alright, so back to our track map here while we let these drivers sort this all out for getting the race underway. And just bear with me as I'm going to bring up a little bit of a larger version on, of course, my computer, so I can read it a little bit better to you guys and gals. I gotta find it. No, it's way up there in the files. Come on. Alright, so it's a very racing racetrack. Obviously, Formula 1 races here every year as well, ladies and gentlemen. They do lots of GT3 racing here. They do, I believe they do bikes as well. And they're still just sorting this all out here, ladies and gentlemen, so... Oh, well, I take it all back. They're not just sorting it all out here anymore. We're going racing, chat. Let's get back to the screen. Kick them tires, light them fires, let's go racing! And we have a driver drop out here. We might see a red flag again here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm not sure what the procedure is here, but we are at the red of our green, and we are green, ladies and gentlemen. So the race is underway here. And it is just a barrel full of cars. Porsche's coming down into Elf, 2-3 wide. Here's we're coming through the pack. Let's see what happens. Is everybody going to survive? We got a driver off. We do have a driver off here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, and that is going to be a caution flag, so we'll have to see if that's going to line these guys back up here. And no, it is race on up front here, so driver spun out there with the caution flag out, but everybody continues on the way here, so no virtual safety car coming out here for that incident on the racetrack. So 2x2, here we go as we're coming through, and it's Nick up into P6, and look at this battle here through the mid-pack right now. Oh, we got contact from, here we go, accordion effect coming through, 2x2s, we all get through, and oh boy, it is getting spicy. We got more contact here between Nick and I believe it was lead. There's Vanderspeck all the way dropping down into P8 from pole position, so this is getting spicy. More contact here between the mid-pack and I Chihuahua, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely carnage here on lap 1 right now as these drivers. Oh, we got a tap in the back, and I think we have another driver off there, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that's going to be another yellow flag there. Yes, he's just coming back on the track there. Oh my, it is spicy here on lap 1 today. This is going to be an 18-lap feature race. Mediums and soft compounded tires are required here, and these drivers are absolutely fighting tooth and nail here. Ooh, got a little bit of sideways action happening right here. Let's get to this battle right here between Jim and Phalantis right now for 9th and 10th place. And it's going to be Jim who's just going to hold Phalantis off here currently. So, great job here so far. Ooh, and then we're going to see it go side by side again as he gets a little bit of a little sloppy exit. And that's going to allow Phalantis to get up side by side. So here we go. 2x2 as we go up the start finish line into Alpha. We're just looking at what's going on up ahead of us there. We got 2 groups passing here now. We got a battle up in front of these 2 as well, but we're going to stick with these 2, and it's going to be job done by Phalantis there. Easy squeezy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's what we're looking for. Alright, let's get through the field here real quick. Let's see what is happening throughout the whole field here. Alright, so Zad's back down into P13 here. We've got Jojo in first. We've got Prince in second. We've got Dennis here in third. Gaudi in fourth place, closing in on Dennis. We've got Nick in fifth. We've got Lead in sixth. We've got Jodo in seventh. Ooh, and Jodo has almost got that wrong and almost went to the sand there. That was a great recovery there by him. Deathatron in eighth. We've got Philantis now up into ninth with that great battle there between him and Jim just a few moments ago. Jim's starting to close back up there. He looks like he is not finished with this battle yet here. And he is right tucked in behind the bumper of Philantis up in front of him here right now. That leaves Droopy Design, Soul Invictus, and of course Zanvek in 11th, 12th, and 13th and behind, just chasing these guys down. They are right there. As you can see, they're just coming into the shot as we come around La Cacha here. And here we go. This is great racing so far. Let's go see what's happening up front right now. Jojo is getting a little bit of a lead. So is Prince. They've broken away from the pack a little bit. So Dennis in third place here. He has the pack bearing down on him, and he's being chased by Gaudi, Nick, Lead, and Jodo as well. So very big little pack developing here in third, fourth place. So let's stick with this for a second and see if he pulls out and makes a move as we come into Elf. And you can just see the whole pack coming down the straightaway here. That's a great shot by our camera crew. And here we go. It's going to be battle on, and it's going to be a quick, easy pass here. No, it's going to be a response from Dennis as a mistake made there, and he's going to continue on. So great response there by Dennis as a little mistake was made there, and we got another battle happening in behind here too. A little bit of a tap there. Going to help push him through, and he's going to take that position as well. Soul Invictus using a little bit of brain power there, and that's going to move him up one position up in between Jim and Droopy Designs now. So Soul Invictus starting to pick the pack apart car by car as he tucks that nose inside, and we got a nice little battle here as well. So great stuff here. Let's get back to a re-look at that battle between Dennis and Nick there just a few moments ago. A little replay action here as we're coming down, of course, out of the final corner and leading into turn one. And then the response. Great cutback move to take that position back. Great driving right there by those two drivers. Now let's continue on. Let's see what's happening here. Jojo still out front. We've got Darth in second place. We've got Dennis here in third. Nick is starting to close in here in fourth place. Ignore the fuel remaining thing. That's something new within the game. All of a sudden I've noticed we have Jodo and Gaudi very close behind. And Jodo has gotten around Gaudi, so we missed that. While we're watching that other replay. That's unfortunate. So it's going to be too long ago before we're going to see any of that. But Gaudi's going to go up, and here we go again. He is going to try the same thing we just watched a moment ago here, coming back into Elf, and he's going to get a 2-for-1 here, ladies and gentlemen. This looks like a great move here from this driver, and it's still a side-by-side battle, and a little bit of contact there, and ooh, he managed to keep that together, so that was a great job. But the double contact there, that's pushing the other driver out wide. He's going to get the position back, and they're going to settle back in. So, whoo, things are getting spicy here, ladies and gentlemen. Things are getting spicy here. Let's go take a look at that again, ladies and gentlemen, as that was something else. Coming into Elf there with three-way battle developing here between these drivers, and that was absolutely fantastic stuff right there, as he got 2-for-1 there. A little bit of contact there maybe we didn't notice in the first initial shot, but then that great battle in between the other two drivers there as well. So let's get back to the action. Loving the keyboard functions here, chat. We've got Nick here in fifth place, and he's trying to hold off Jodo right now. Jodo was very, very close in behind there. Ooh, both of them getting a little bit wide coming out of campus there. Maybe they might pick up a penalty there. They got to be very careful of that as we're heading into La Cacha here. And this is a very tight corner. You got to be patient with this corner. You got to be careful when you get on the throttle here. You can really end up having a bad day. And you can see this pack is just super, super close here. You got Deathatron in 8th place. He's just in behind. Lead right there. Philantis is right there in 9th as well. Then we're on with Droopy Designs now up into P10. We've got Soul right there in 11th place, just in behind him. We've got Jim in 12th. And Svanderspec, maybe not sure what's going on there, but having a little moment there. That driver is starting up pole position. I'm not sure what's happened there, but quite a ways back from the rest of the pack here. Let's get back up to the front of the pack. So it is again Jojo, and he's got a 3.67 second lead. He's absolutely flying right now. We got Darth here, and he is sitting in second place, so he's having a good early start to his race here so far today as well. MacMillan coming in with that like and that share. We see you, MacMillan. Hope you're doing fantastic. We got F1 Dennis here in third place, with Gotti chasing now in fourth. So great move by Gotti, picking up 2 positions just a little while ago there as well. We have Nick here in fifth. We've got Jodo in sixth. We've got Lead and Deathatron here. They're starting to close up. So Deathatron maybe looking to start making something happen on our 7th place driver Lead here as we're coming in. And we're just going to jump up ahead there. I thought I'd seen a little wiggle up ahead from one of our drivers. I thought we were going to see a moment on track there for a second. But everybody's doing pretty good here so far. Had a couple of moments on the racetrack. There was definitely some argy-bargy at the beginning of this race here, while all these drivers tried to sort out their positions on the racetrack, and that got a little bit spicy. And some drivers may have paid more than the others. We got Joe coming in with that thumbs up as well. How you doing, my dude? But it is Jojo still right now in the lead of this race, and he's the fastest man on the racetrack with 140.377 here as well, and that was just a lap ago. 4.3 second gap now on Prince. We got Dennis here in third place. He's 3/4 of a second ahead of Gotti, so Gotti is in that slipstream. So let's see if Dennis is close enough here to... Yeah, no. All right. I wasn't sure if there was a close enough between the two of them for a move to be made there, but right now, not currently, as Gotti's trying to make that time up. We got Nick at fifth. Jodo here in sixth place. Just coming around Repsol there right now. And this is Repsol here, Heidel leading into Repsol. And you can see you're really just trying to coast these cars around these corners, try to maximize as much rotational speed as you can so you can get obviously a faster exit when you get out of the exit in the corner. Some corners it is what it is. You can see downshift first gear here just again to maintain that rotational speed, and then right back up into second gear. And a difficult car to drive around this racetrack. MR's you feel a lot more of the road effects now with the new update. You can feel the bumps and the dips in the road a lot more. It's a lot of adjusting for our drivers here on track today, and he's got a nice healthy little gap to a 7th place driver, Deathatron. So let's jump on with Deathatron. Half-second penalty here for him, and that's not ideal as he's got the whole pack bearing down. Sol, Fubar, and the other driver you see serving that penalty there, and he's going to lose at least one. Oh, there might have been a little bit of contact there, but great job by all those drivers to sort each other out. Oh, and we got a spin in behind there, and that's definitely gonna have to be a yellow flag wave there. Let's go check that out. Where are we here? Oh, it was Philantis here, as he did get spun out there, as he spun himself out there coming around the corner again, just a little early on the throttle in the heat of battle, and finding himself down into P12 now after that unfortunate spin there. So Vanderspec maybe seeing some time gain there, but we'll have to see how it all plays out. But it is Jojo still in the lead of this race, and it's only lap 7 of 18, so we got a little ways to go here yet. So lots of racing left. We still have pit stops that need to happen here. So we have Prince in second place. Got Dennis here in third, and he is still kind of under pressure, but not really fully under pressure from Gotti. I mean, Gotti is right there. He's just maintaining that 3/4 of a second gap currently. Seem to be giving and taking just a little to each other. Nick right here, he's trying to reel those two in as well here in 5th place, and he's got Jodo only a second in behind him in 6th. And then we have that big gap. We got about 7 seconds in between this front pack and the back half of the pack. So starting to see a little bit of grouping happening within our drivers. So Victus is in lead of this next pack here. He's in 7th. We got Droopy Designs in 8th place. He's right there trying to chase him back down, trying to hold Deathatron. Also Deathatron moving down a couple of positions here recently. And now we got Jim chasing him down here as well. So let's jump on board with Jim here as he comes around. And we got Mateo Popper, 22 has subscribed. Appreciate you, my guy, Popper. Alright, so here we go as we're coming around. It is Jim Dunny coming around here. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there in front of him with Deathatron. So not able to fully capitalize, but we could, obviously, as you can see on the screen in front of you, we see different tire compounds and such as we go into certain camera modes, of course, within the game. So Jojo here, lap 8. He's very, very well in, man. I mean, he takes a look. You can't see nothing in behind him as far as the rearview mirror goes. He's styling, he's cruising. Loving life right now. Prince in second place here, 1.9 seconds ahead of our third place driver Dennis. Now Dennis getting some pressure here now from Gotti, so let's stick with this battle here as these two are starting to close up real good. So this is battle for third and fourth place right here between these two. Not necessarily a battle right at the moment, but definitely shaping up to become one here very quickly. Gotti taking a very tight line coming out of the corner there as well. So we're heading into the S's here, and Gotti is very close and behind, but good run there from Dennis to hold him off there. He gained about a tenth on him there as we come into the S's, and again, this is a risky section. You got to be patient there when you're going to get on the throttle, and those guys just handling that like pros. You can see the other two drivers just in behind trying to gain that time up, but these two are just starting to pull away from the couple drivers in behind, chasing with Nick and Jodo. You can see as they're just coming through the penalty marker zone there, just a little bit off in the distance there. So ooh, are we going to see it? Is he right now? No, he didn't get the run. He was thinking about it, though. He had the line to take that inside corner if he got a run there. But Dennis just had enough power in that Porsche to just stay ahead here. And we might see a move now coming into Elf turns 1 and 2 here at the end of New Holland in the straightaway here. So far, nobody opting to pitch yet. We are going to stick with this battle here. This is for third and fourth place here. So there we go, side by side as we head up the straightaway, heading into Elf. Now this should be move done here by our third place driver currently Gotti, but we'll have to wait and see. As is there a response from Dennis coming into the S's Elf as we head into Renault? No, he is going to hold that position. So Gotti's going to move up into P3. Dennis is going to move down into P4. And the race continues on for these two. So a nice little clean, efficient move there from Gotti. Gets him up into the podium positions. We got Nick in 5th place. They're just losing touch with that third and fourth place battle up ahead here right now. And he's just trying to open up that gap on Joto just a little bit. But Joto's doing a pretty good job of sticking with him here in 6th place. Now, Sol Invictus taking about a second out of that 7-second gap here so far. But he has Droopy Design starting to close in on him now as well. So these two drivers starting to get close in proximity of each other. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there from Sol as he came out of the corner there. But he managed to gather that thing up nicely and keep it up on down the road without too much time loss there. That's a great looking livery there too, by the way, on a lot of these cars here as they come around. Very right. Ooh, wide exit there for Sol Invictus, and that's most likely going to be a half-second track limit penalty for that driver there as he comes down through the straightaway into Lacacia. He might have gotten away with it, actually. That actually kind of looks quite interesting. Deathatron here in 9th place. We've got Jim here in 10th, still chasing him down. We've got Philantis in 11th. We've got Zvanspec now up into 12th, and we've got Lead here in 13th. So maybe making his pit stop here. Maybe a couple of these guys have made their pit stops, and we just haven't quite seen it yet. There we go. We got Prince in pit lane. We've got Jodo now in pit lane. They were both on that soft compounded tire, and they're going to switch over to that medium compounded tire. Now, again, the drivers do have to use a set of racing soft tires, and they do have to use a set of racing medium tires. There is no pit window here, so there's not a mandatory time that these drivers have to pit. That is up to them when they decide to make that tire change, and fuel they may or may not need to take. All depends how they're driving these cars here today. And it's now Jojo still in the lead, and Gotti here in 2nd place with Dennis very close behind, still in 3rd place. He has not let Gotti get away. We've got Nick here 3.5 seconds in behind those two, with Sol now up into P5, obviously with the pit stop of the driver in front of him, so that grandfathers everybody up in position here. Droopy Designs into 6th, Deathatron now in 7th, carrying a half-second penalty there. That's unfortunate for him. Prince comes out in 8th place after his stop. Jodo comes out just behind in 9th, and he comes out just ahead of Philantis here. So should be able to maintain that position, obviously on fresher compounded tires. So shouldn't have an issue staying ahead of the driver on a little bit of older tires. We got Jim here in 11th place. We see Lead coming into pit lane right now. Vanderspec here in 12th. This was our pole sitter, and the lead is P13. So, all right, here we go. lap 11 of 18 here in our feature race. So after this, ladies and gentlemen, don't run away, because we will have a sprint race of 9 laps as well, and these sprint races get a lot spicier than these feature races do. So it's going to be quite interesting to see that play out. That's usually when things get a little bit crazy around the racetrack here. We got Sol, the camera guy, is not getting a great shot there. Somebody must have walked in front of the camera. Got Prince here in 8th place as he's coming around, and he's going to stay out. Of course, he just pits, so Jodo's going to follow him through here, so they should grab those positions from those 2 drivers in pit lane. But if they're not taking fuel, they're going to be very short pit stops here at Barcelona. Jodo does currently seem like he is going to get ahead of those 2 drivers. Yes, going to move him up into 7th place. We got Droopy Designs coming out here in 8th. We've got Deathatron coming out of pit lane here in 9th place right now. He's got hot lap traffic coming in right beside him with Xander Specs. So let's see how they handle turn 1 here. And Xander got around him before he came into turn 1, so there was no issues there at all. Philantis now in pit lane, and Lead in pit lane. Alright, Jojo cruising here. P1 looking real good. He got away nice and clean from the pack after the ensuing chaos of the start of the race, and he hasn't looked back since. Gotti and Dennis, these two have been not battling extensively, but definitely not letting each other get out of each other's sights. They are just sitting here strategizing their next move, and looks like both drivers are going to come into pit lane here as Gotti and Dennis are on the run, so they should come right out in behind each other, I would imagine. We've got Sol Invictus, he's coming around here. Ooh, and he's going to make a last-minute decision. He's like, yeah, I need a pit stop, so he's going to come in here. I should put Prince maybe in the lead of this. No, put him in 2nd place as Jojo hasn't pitched yet. So Prince here in 5th place. What's he going to do? Obviously, he's pit, so he's going to go around again. And let's see if that puts him up ahead of these 3 drivers that have pit. So Jojo, our leader, still owes a pit stop here yet. We'll have to see when he chooses to do that, when he feels that gap is big enough to try and maintain 1st place. I'm guessing is when he's going to do that. But here we go. It's Prince coming out, and he's going to come out just ahead of Gaudi and Dennis there, and I mean just ahead. That was very close as we came into the entry of Elf Sector here. Now we headed to Renault, and it's a 3-way train here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. Gaudi in 3rd, Dennis in 4th. Dennis is still tucked underneath that bumper of Gaudi, and we're going to go side by side here, and it is going to be a battle going into Repsol Corner. A tiny little touch there. And it's going to be Dennis now slotting up into 3rd place here ahead of Gaudi. So that was a great little battle there. A quick little position change from him. We got Nick in 5th place. Still just a little bit off these 3 as well. So if these 2 or 3 drivers continue to battle here and there, that may allow Nick to get involved with this battle a little quicker as well, trying to reel these drivers in. And here we go. Now we got Dennis. He's going to go on the outside of Prince as well. And Dennis is making some moves here. And that was a great move right there by Dennis. And we're going to have to go take a look at that again, ladies and gentlemen, as it takes him on the... Oh, let's get the better one, shall we? Let's get the longer one. There we go. Sets him up on the outside, coming into campus, and gets the job done. So that was a great pass there by Dennis. Whew. Great stuff there. All right, so Jojo's in pit lane. Here we go, our race leader. Here he goes as he comes out. Let's jump on board with him here as he's coming out of pit lane. Oh, that's not on board. There we go. Now let's see what he sees here. He sees a fairly lengthy gap here still, so Jojo is going to come out in the race lead, and it's going to be Dennis now in 2nd, Prince in 3rd, and Gaudi here in 4th place. We've got Nick in 5th. We've got Jodo in 6th. Our cameraman's falling asleep here. There we go. Wakey, wakey. We've got Troopy Designs here in 7th, and apparently this is just a bad spot on the track for our camera guy here today, so we'll just go back to our race leader here for a second and let the pack get past that point of our dozy cameraman there as Jojo comes around here in P1 looking pretty good. We've got Dennis here in P2, and he's opening up a very quick gap here on Prince, 1.6 seconds, trying to make that getaway. Prince here in 3rd with Gaudi chasing in 4th. Half a second now separating those 2 drivers here as well, so different tire compounds going to make the difference here potentially at the end of this race. We got Nick here in 5th place. We've got Jodo in 6th. We've got Droopy battling with Jim here for 7th and 8th place. So a good time to get through the field here. Oh, we got Soul getting involved there in the background there as well. We'll have to go see if we can see what we see back there. And we got a healthy battle here is what we see right now. We'll go take a look at what we just missed in the background there in a second. Soul Invictus is just going to find his way around Svanderspec there and back up into the top 10 as he's now working on Deathatron there. So a little wiggle there from Soul Invictus is what we're seeing there. And as we're coming into the S, as Deathatron gets the inside line and just a little touch there. And Soul Invictus gotten a little bit out of sorts there, so losing 2 positions there was Soul Invictus, and then of course he got the 1 position back just coming around the corner here. So that is what we had going on in the background there as we were watching him. Now we got some battles happening in the foreground here. Let's get back up with this as we got Jim and Droopy fighting here for 7th and 8th place right now. So a nice side-by-side battle through Elf there as they're switching sides. Ooh, a little bump draft there, a little push going into Renault. Help him get through the corner a little bit quicker there. And he is going to slot up into the inside as we head into Repsol here, Repsol here. So side-by-side action. Jim versus Droopy Designs. Droopy currently still holding the position on the outside here. That was a great hold on the outside of Repsol there by Droopy Designs, and he is going to hold off Jim Dunny here currently as this battle continues. So let's just keep our eyes on this here. We got one driver, looks like he's having some mechanical trouble there, and he's just got the car in pit lane. And he is, and it's immediately on the defensive here. Goes, of course, Droopy Designs, but that's going to be an attempted cutback move here. But that's going to put him on the outside of Lakasha. That is a tough spot to be and get a move done here. So great defending work here so far from Droopy Designs as they go into the corner. And we're going to see another attempted cutback. No, he's just going to have to settle in behind there and just wait for another opportunity. So almost lost back into that car there as he had to slow down not to get into the back end of Droopy Designs. They're up into 7th place. This is a great battle we got going on here between these 2 drivers, and Deathatron is just chilling back there watching it all go down at the moment. All right, race leader, only 2.5 seconds now from Dennis here in 2nd place. So Dennis closing in quickly on our race leader. Prince here in 3rd place, and he is still being hounded by Gotti here in 4th place. Still separated only by about a half a second right now are those 2 drivers. We got Nick here still in 5th place, still trying to reel those 2 in up ahead of him, and Jodo still settled in 6th place in behind him here. So, and then there's that gap, but an 8-second gap to that. Just absolutely beautiful battle here, which we're going to get right back to right now between these 3 drivers. And it's now Droopy Designs, Jim, and Deathatron fighting it out here for 7th, 8th, and 9th place here as we're heading into this left-hander. Soul Invictus just coming in the background here as well. So maybe potentially a 4-way battle brewing here between this group of drivers here currently. But here we go as Droopy Designs coming around in the lead of this pack right now. Jim is in the middle of this pack, and Deathatron just on the backside, and then Soul Invictus just looking off in the distance here, trying to reel these guys in as they close up on each other. And ooh, he's going to take a wide line there, and that might cost him with a penalty. Droopy going back on the defense here as we come into Lakasha, and who was thinking about a cutback was Jim there, but he couldn't get the line, and he's going to give that line up into Deathatron there, and Deathatron's going to get the job done, and we got Jim all kinds of out of sorts, but he manages to keep that car together, and it's going to be Jim now getting the job done here. So it's going to be Deathatron here in 8th place over Jim Dunny. Let's go take another look at that, shall we? That was some great battling right there, as you can see coming into the corner here. Oh, we just missed it. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, let's get back up front here. Let's see what's happening. We got Jojo 0.8 of a second ahead of Dennis right now in 2nd place. We've got Prince here in 3rd. We've got Gotti in 4th. We've got Nick in 5th. The drivers are starting to close up. We're 16 of 18, so we got 2.5 laps remaining here in the race today, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Droopy here in 7th, and boy, Deathatron is starting to put the pressure in on him now as well. Soul's starting to reel in, and Jim Dunny in behind as well. So boy, oh boy, this little mid-pack battle has been a healthy one here in this feature event here today so far at WSR Porsche Cup Season 5 Round 2. Great little battle here between these three right now. Soul and Victus are ever so slowly but surely gaining in on these drivers as well. So the more they continue to squabble, the better chance he has of getting involved in the squabble himself. We got Volantis there in 11th. We got Sandspec in 12th. And we've got Lead. The crew's still looking at that car there. He pulled that in pits a little while ago there, and they just haven't been able to get that thing back out on track. But boy, oh boy, the heat is starting to crank up here at front. Jojo, who had a very comfortable lead all race long, is starting to feel the pressure as Dennis is going to take a look up the inside, and here we go. Battle for the lead, and Dennis should easily have this with that inside position. Let's see how they handle the corner. No, it's going to be a cutback maneuver. He went a little bit wide, side by side coming out of the corner, and he cannot hold it. Jojo's going to lose the lead to Dennis, but his is not over. These guys are still battling, and boy, oh boy, what a great fight that was here. But so far, Jojo's just going to settle in behind, and he is going to tuck right in behind Dennis right there. And as they go into Repsol, nose to tail, that was a great move for the lead on lap 17 right there by F1 Dennis. Take one more look at that here as we come through the corners. And it was an absolutely great response here from Jojo, but he just couldn't quite get in there. And Dennis just getting the job done and holding him off there for the race lead. So Dennis now in the lead of this race. He's trying to pull a gap, but he's not able to do it. It's only 0.4 of a second here. So anything can still happen there. We've got Gotti now up into P3 as he's gotten around Darth. Let's see if we could see what happened there. It looked like we just missed it there as it looked like it was coming out of Repsol. So Gotti now up into 3rd place here as well. We got Prince in 4th place, and here we go. He's going to take a look up the inside. No, he's not. He's just going to back it off. Oh, and a mistake made by Gotti there, and it's going to be a free through 3rd place there for Darth. So look at that, and Gotti is right back up on the back end of Prince here. And boy, oh boy, we have some healthy battles going on right now on this racetrack. Let's keep it going. Jodo almost making a mistake. Deathatron in 7th. We still got Jim and Droopy battling here, and Droopy's going to look up the inside coming into the S's, and he's going to get the job done. He's going to move up into 9th place ahead of Droopy. Droopy's going to move ahead up into 8th ahead of Jim for 8th place. Jim's going to drop down into 9th place. And Soul Invictus still right there in 10th place on the back of this as well. Let's get back up front and see what we see here real quick as we're just coming into Renault right now. And it is still Dennis in lead with Jojo chasing. It's Gotti and Darth very close together here. 3rd and 4th place still battling very hard here as well. And we have battles all over this racetrack right now. We just don't know which one to be watching here. Let's go take a quick look at what's going on here into Elf between this backpack here as well. Nothing changing right at the moment. Let's get back up to the front pack here as we have Gotti and Darth Prince, and the boy oh boy Gotti is defending here. He is going to make Darth go on the outside if he wants to get this move done, and all this is doing is allowing Nick to get into the fight here. So this battle has absolutely heated up very quickly. Oh no, the game froze again. Sorry chat, we're going to go without game audio. Too close to the end of the race here. So it is Dennis here. He's coming near Lakasha. He's got a nice little gap there, but look at this 3rd, 4th, and 5th place closing up. Gotti here in 3rd. We got Prince in 4th, and we've got Nick in 5th. Let's see what happens as we come into Lakasha. Is he going to try and make a move, Prince, here? Is he close enough to get inside? He's just going to sit in behind. And boy, oh boy, it is getting very close here, but we're going to follow our leaders through here as it is going to be Dennis looking like the win here today, ladies and gentlemen. It is Dennis followed by Jojo. 3rd is going to be Gotti, so he's just holding off Prince here in a great battle between those two drivers. Is going to be a P3 finish here for Gotti. It's going to be a 4th place finish for Prince. It's going to be Nick in 5th place, and that was very close between those 3 drivers. Joto here in no man's land, all on his own in 6th place. Good finish for him. We got Deathatron, some great battling at the end of the race to pick up a couple more positions for him here very late, and that's going to be 7th place for him. Jim Dunny's going to be followed very close by Soul Invictus, and it's 8th for Jim, 9th for Soul. At 10th place for Droopy. Let's get down. Let's keep going here. We got Volantis in 11th place here as he's coming around right now. just a little bit off of this group here, and 11th place finish here for him today. We got Svansbeck here in 12th place. Again, our pole sitter, just not sure what happened to him at the beginning of the race there. He must have missed something, or he just didn't have his greatest race there. And it is going to be Lead that's going to finish in 13th here, several laps down today. So congratulations to F1 Dennis for a great feature race win. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's not all over yet. We still have a 15-minute sprint race. It's going to be a 9-lap sprint race here. And that will be started off here in a few minutes' time. So some great racing there by Dennis and Jojo. Jojo just not quite able to hold the charge of Dennis off on that slower compounded tire there. And just didn't quite have a big enough cushion built up to take that thing home, but still solid second place finish from Jojo there today. Dennis, I mean, coming in strong with a nice solid first place performance. Strategy was key obviously for him today, and he made it work. Gotti in third place, just getting up into that podium position there right at the end of the race with a very healthy battle with the fourth place driver Prince. Right there in the white Porsche. Of course, Nick was starting to close in with those guys battling in fifth place, but just ran out of time in this race to try and make anything happen there. Jodo, nice comfortable race there. He had no pressure. He just brought that thing home in P6. Deathatron was a very healthy battle with Jim and Sol Invictus, and the big group in the middle pack there coming out on the top of that battle is 7th place. Jim Dunny having a good race for himself here. He came out of that with an 8th place finish. Sol Invictus came out in behind with a 9th place finish. And Droopy Designs was kind of the big loser in that big four-way battle. They're dropping all the way down to the P10, but still top 10 finish for him, so nothing too shabby there. Falantis here in 11th place. Svansbeck, again, our pole sitter. Not sure what happened to him here today, but just didn't quite get it right at the beginning of the race, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. And lead here in 13th position. So there we go. Got the car out for the end of the race there. And we're just going to go take a look at those results. So race victory to Dennis. Great job here by him again in this race. He has been a very quick driver here so far in the Pro Am division very early on in this series. So let's flip you back over to the screen here while they get everything set up and talk about Barcelona just a little bit more, shall we? Let's talk about Barcelona. We've been trying to do this for a couple of minutes here, so they're going to have to do a manual set on the grid and stuff like that. So we'll talk about Catalunya a little bit while they do that, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to our podium finishers. Dennis in first place, Jojo in second place, and of course Gotti in third place. That was some good racing by those drivers. Open. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the corners of Barcelona here, ladies and gentlemen. The Catalunya circuit opened in September of 1991 in line with hosting the Barcelona Olympics and is approximately 30 kilometers north of Barcelona, Spain. With a long straight and a larger variety of corners, the setting of the car greatly affects the lap times. Alright, so let's head us around the racetrack in order here, and that takes us into L.1 on the left-hand bottom side of the track map. The braking into turn 1 from the slightly descending home straight is a great spot for overtaking. That takes us up in through the S's, up into Renault, which is point number 2 in red there. Turn 3 is an increasing radius turn. Drivers can apex and get back on the power earlier than a locked radius turn. So that takes us into Repsol, our corner number 4 there at our third point. Turn 4 is also an increasing radius turn, just like turn 3, just tighter. That takes us into turn 4 seat, ladies and gentlemen. And I can never remember that corner's name for some reason, but this turn falls away, giving the car less grip through that turn. Once you survive all of that, that takes us into a little bit of a straightaway, leading into corner 6, which is a little kink, and then that takes us into 7 and 8, which is a nice little S sector. And that brings us to point number 5. Turn 7 is easy to get wrong. You brake too early, and the driver will slow to T9, brake too late, and the driver risks running really wide. That takes us up into Campsa, And that's that really high sweeping corner where we're seeing some of the guys picking up the penalties on exit there. And turn 9 has an apex at the crest of the hill, making it a blind apex turn. Drivers must use other visual references to know where to turn the car in. So once we get all the way down there, that takes us into La Caixa. Turn 10 is a slow speed corner and is sharper than it looks. With lower speeds, driver need to ensure they hit their marks. And then once you survive that, that takes you up into a little S sector and into Bank de Sabadell. And turn 12 is a large 180-degree turn. The turn exit at the crest of the hill, so grip there may be a challenge. Drivers may fight with oversteer and or understeer, especially if tires are worn out. From there, that takes us into Eurocar, and Eurocar is, we're not going to knock those points off because that's more for the chicane sector, but in this particular layout without the chicane, Eurocar is just a little bit of a lift on the throttle to take that corner. You want to grab the apex and sweep out wide, which takes us into New Holland, point 11. Turn 16 is important as it's a turn right before the longest straightaway. Drivers trying to maximize their speed through turn 16 will make the turn as wide as possible while being mindful of the sand trap on the exit. And of course, that's bad news. The sand trap can spin these cars out or just stop them dead in their tracks. Track entry, of course, drivers on track should note that drivers leaving the pit lane may not see hot lap traffic, i.e. traffic at speed coming down the straightaway. So traffic boundaries, of course, are clearly marked on the track, and that is by a very solid white line. So drivers coming out of pit lane, of course, need to stay to the inside of that line, which means that does give them the apex of the corner. If they come into the corner with hot lap traffic will need to stay on the outside of that white line. Of course, if they come into the corner at the same time as pit traffic, they are required to hold the outside of turn 1 going into turn 2. So a little bit of cooperation required from the drivers when it comes to pit stops here at Barcelona. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what are we thinking about the race here so far tonight? That was a spicy Porsche race right there, much spicier than we expected to see. So that was just a feature race. The sprint race is only 9 laps. These guys have very little tire wear. I think they only have to use one compounded tire as well in the sprint race. So the sprint race will be a lot more intense. I think it's going to be a lot more battling, and I think there's going to be a lot more action in that short 9-lap race here around Barcelona today. So in about another 3 minutes time or so, we'll be underway for our sprint race. So it'll be 9 laps here today, and this is round 2. So I'm not exactly sure how they 100% determine the split allocations here. I'm still learning the system here over at WSR Porsche Cup. It's quite a bit different from most of the leagues that I'm used to working with. So yeah, once we figure out how it is that they determine their split allocations from one race to the next and stuff like that, we can give you some better information, but I don't want to speculate. So hopefully next week, in 2 weeks time, I think it is, we'll have a little bit more information on how they determine which drivers move up and down splits, etc., from one race to another. So interesting format they got here at WSR Porsche Cup, that's for sure. Alright, so I was just looking at some information on the schedule here, and with the next race should be interesting. We're going to have to bring a little fun little tool into the stream for next week's race, but we'll talk about that a little more at the end of the broadcast here. So the host is just doing what the host does here, ladies and gentlemen. He's just making sure that the drivers are all ready to go. So once they are, we'll flip the screen, reset the capture card one more time, and we'll bring this 9-lap sprint race to everybody. We'll recap today's events, and we'll send it home. It's a pretty peaceful, quiet Sunday afternoon here in the GT45 Gaming household. How's everybody doing in your respective households today? Are we having a nice chill Sunday? I know the F1 race was on quite early for the North American viewers, of course, so a lot of you may be catching up on that right now. I won't say anything, but yeah, hope you all enjoy that race. Good stuff. I mean, we've seen a lot of really good action actually in this feature race compared to the first round. I feel like the first round everybody was kind of feeling each other out. I was kind of expecting to see the same thing this week with the new physics change, but it seemed like these drivers were ready for it, so they came in with all cylinders firing and sent it. So it made for a really good race. We've seen some great late battling for the positional changes in the podium, especially the different tire compound strategies. Really did play a big factor in how, of course, the race finished here today. We're going to get rid of that guy right there. And we're just going to do a quick capture card reset right now, chat. Alright. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got 5 reds. We're waiting for green, and we are green, 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 and we are going, and here we go again. So, the Droopy Designs finished 10th, starting in first. Again, top 10 is reverse grid here in the sprint race based off the feature race points. So, going to be interesting to see how that all works out here. You can see every driver jockeying for position here as we come through Elf, and let's try to stick with the field a little bit quicker here this time. Got a lot of side-by-side. Oh, we got a 3 wide there, but he manages to keep it together. That was a great job there by Prince to keep the car underneath of him there as he got pushed a little bit into the grass there. But looks like we all survive here in the sprint race. So 13 drivers nose to tail here as we head around lap 1 of 9 here in this sprint race. So all bets are off here. Fuel, no tire. This is just go time. Full send it. And these drivers are going to do exactly that. We're going to see a lot of battling. So with that being said, we got battles happening all through the mid-pack here. We got a battle right now for 4th, 5th between Jim and Deathatron. Right now, Jim has the lead coming into Lakasha. He has the optimal line. Can he hold it as he gets through here? Deathatron doing a great job holding it on the outside. That's going to give him the inside track coming in through the S's now. Now we're 3 wide coming in. Oh boy, here we go. Jim's just going to back out of that. He's like, nope, don't want anything to do with that. We'll let these guys sort that out. So Deathatron now up into 4th place. Ascoti up into 5th. Jim down into 6th, and we're going to come 3 wide into Lacacia. This is not that wide of a corner. Wow, look at these drivers. They are just sorting themselves. Absolutely intense action here right now, ladies and gentlemen, as these drivers are rubbing their door handles against each other, trying to get around this track as quickly as possible. And it's Droopy Designs in the lead. Sole Invictus here in 2nd place. We got Nick in 3rd. Deathatron here in 4th. We got Gotti in 5th. We've got Zvanspec in 6th. Jodo in 7th. With Jojo in 8th. We've got Jim right there in 9th place as well in behind. Prince in 10th. Dennis in 11th. Flantis in 12th. And Lead in 13th. Alright. That was some chaos right there. So, here we go. Let's see where the fights are, because there's going to be lots of them here. We've got a battle right here between Gotti and Deathatron as we come up out through Renault here, heading into Repsol, and it's going to be a job done there by Gotti, so he's going to get a quick position. We got battles happening up in behind, and Deathatron's going to try and respond, but Gotti goes on the defense, and that's going to give maybe an opportunity for Jojo to get around on the outside. No, great defense there by Deathatron as Jojo tries to get the job done, and he can't get around on the outside there, so he settles back into line, waits for another opportunity. We got 2 wide in behind this group here. Let's go see what's going on back here. Got Jim up in 8th place. Dennis now making his way up into 9th place. He has Jodo all up in his business here in 10th place. He's got Prince just in behind here in 11th. And a little bit of a touch there, I think, from those 2 Porsches right there. So very tight racing here right now. We got Jodo in 10th place. Darth in 11th. Phalantis here in 12th. And Leads just a little bit off the pack here at the moment in 13th. So here it is. Droopy Designs leading the way on lap 2 here as we're coming in through the S sectors leading into Kamsa. No, sorry, my apologies, into Eurocar. We're heading through Sabadell, coming into Eurocar there. So lost my spot on the racetrack here, as Droopy Design is going to come around in the lead for the start of lap 3 here now. So Invictus very close in behind. He is closing. Nick here in 3rd place. He had a good race the first time around. He's closing. Brandon coming in with that share. How you doing, my dude? We got Van Speck here in 4th place, side by side with Nick. So battle for podium position here for 3rd place. Let's see what happens. Sandsvek goes in and gets the job done quite easily. But look at the response from Nick as he came in with a huge exit there and just couldn't find the space to get back around. So he's going to settle back into 4th place. We got Gotti, up into 5th place here. Deathatron and him still battling, and oh, there we go. That is a caution flag right there, ladies and gentlemen. That was a hard hit right there, as all the drivers in behind need to be warned that we have a slow-moving car on the racetrack here. So that was unfortunate for Deathatron right there. Jim's going to grab 8th there. Jodo's going to move up into 9th. Dart's going to move up into 10th, and that's going to put Deathatron back into P11 after that little bit of a spin and hit into the wall there. So that was unfortunate for him, and that's how easy it is to make a mistake. When you're racing that close, you lose several positions. So dropping way out of the fight for the front of this pack here now is Deathatron, and he has definitely got some work to do if he wants to get back up there and continue fighting for podium position. So it is Droopy here in the lead though, and Sol Invictus looking for a cutback here. Is he going to get it done? He has a nose on the inside. They're going to go side by side up and through the S's here as we head into Sabadell. And ooh, great battle here. Now we got the 3rd place driver taking a look, Vanspec as well, and ooh, his soul just about lost that car there. He got it back together, and he's going to settle back into 2nd place here. But boy, oh boy, talk about nose to tail racing. First, 2nd, and 3rd place are nose to tail. Nick right there in 4th place, just in behind, going yes, keep battling, I'm coming. So here we go. Sol's going to dip out into some clean air, and we're going to see him move from Sandspec now on Sol Invictus for 2nd place here. Oh, we got a defense, and here we go. We got a 3-wide battle for the lead. And it is going to be Sol Invictus going down into 3rd, Sandspec going up into 2nd, and Droopy Designs maintaining the race lead. So he has been doing a great job so far defending off these 2 drivers, but all this is doing is just allowing the whole pack to get back involved with this fight for the podium here right now. Sol Invictus side by side with Sandsvek, and this is just an absolutely crazy battle up here up front right now. Side by side are these 2 as they come through Repsol, and it's going to be Sol Invictus now sliding up into 2nd place as he heads into his seat, and he's going to leave the door open there, and that's going to be Sandsvek going to take a nose, and he's going to take a look, and he can't quite get the job done. Oh, side by side here now as we come into the S's, and oh, what a great battle for 2nd place this is right now between Sol Invictus and Sandsbeck, and oh, Sandsbeck's going to get the job done, and now Nick took a look, but Nick just didn't quite have the run. Sol Invictus is going to hold off Nick for 3rd place here currently, and boy, oh boy, these drivers pushing it right now. Let's get back to the mid-pack here. Gotti watching all this happen in behind here in 5th place, with Dennis just in behind him right here in 6th place, and this is a familiar battle, and oh, Gotti went deep into the corner there, and that's going to be a position for Dennis for sure. Gotti's going to move up into 6th place. Jojo here is going to be in 7th. We've got Jodo just in behind him there in 8th, and look at this healthy battle between Prince and Jim right now for 9th and 10th place as well, and I think we might have just missed something there. Let's go take a look real quick. No, it doesn't look like it. Looks like we just missed that move there from Prince on Jim, so let's keep going through here. Jim in behind in 10th place. We got Philantis right there in 11th. Deathatron down into 12th here now. He's got some damage on the front end of that car, and we got lead here in 13th position. So Droopy still managing to keep the pressure off here, but the pressure isn't going away as Vanspec is all over him right now. He's weaving, looking for a way around, and he's finally going to get a run up in through Renault, and he's going to move up into the lead there. So Vanspec is going to take P1 over from Droopy Designs. Nick now up into 3rd place on Sol Invictus here as well. And Sol Invictus now has Dennis, who just won our feature race, all over the back end of him. Gotti right there just in behind in 6th place, and boy, everywhere we look right now, there is something happening here in this sprint race, and oh boy, Sol Invictus just about losing that thing again. And Dennis right here, he's tucked right in. He is ready for a mistake here, so we can grab another position. Moving back through our field here. Just trying to keep an eye on everything. There's so much happening here right now on the racetrack in this short amount of time. These drivers are just absolutely sending it, and I think it's a great little combo having a good, serious, hard feature race and then just opening it up to these guys with a big full set sprint race here. It's really providing for some great racing here today, but it is Vanspec now in the lead of this thing. Droopy Designs here dropping down to 2nd place. We got Nick up into 3rd. He's still got Sol Invictus and Dennis very, very close behind here in 4th and 5th place, and Dennis is starting to put some good immediate pressure here on Sol Invictus. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between the two cars, maybe a little bump draft situation there. He just didn't quite hit him in the right spot, but these guys still continue on down the road here, and let's see what happens as we're coming into Elf here. So the whole field coming down, and here we go. Slipstream braking is going to start happening here. Guys not wanting it. Dennis is going to take a look. Nope, he's just going to get some clean air into his race car here and make sure they can get that thing to turn in the way he wants it to. So great job there by Dennis. He's in 5th place in behind Sol Invictus. Now Sol Invictus still trying to find a way around Nick here, but Nick has been doing a fantastic job at answering the call. So, Vanderspeck here in 1st place. We got Droopy Designs in 2nd. Nick in 3rd with Sol Invictus in 4th. We've got Dennis in 5th. Gotti in 6th. Then there's a little tiny bit of a gap. Not much. 1.7 seconds. We've got Jojo, and he's kind of in no man's land here, but he has Prince now chasing him down in 8th place. Philantis all the way up into 9th, so he's been making some moves here. Jim down into 10th. Deathatron here has now moved back up into P11, and Jodo here in 12th place with lead very close behind there in 13th. So it is Vanderspeck now leading the way here on lap 6 of 9, and we're getting near the end of lap 6. We got 3 and a little bit to go here before the end of our WSR Porsche Cup endeavors here this week for our Pro Am division. Great exit there as he comes out of Eurocar heading into New Holland, coming out of Sabadell heading into Eurocar getting ready for New Holland. Holy, get it right, Ghost. And he looks like he gets a good exit there, a little bit of a wide exit, but he got a little bit slippery there. Droopy Designs here in 2nd place. We've got Nick here in 3rd. We've got Sol in 4th. We've got Dennis here in 5th. Gotti here in 6th. We've got Prince here in 7th. We've got Philantis in 8th. We've got Jim here in 9th. Deathatron in 10th. We got Jojo here in 11th. We've got Jodo in 12th, and lead rounding out the field here. So Zanderspeck now almost a second ahead of Droopy Designs here. So he's starting to open up just a tiny little cushion. Not much though. One little mistake, and that has this battle just absolutely back right in full rejuvenation here. Nick here still in 3rd place. Now Dennis has gotten around Sol Invictus, and now he is working on trying to find his way around Nick here. So let's see if he can get that job done before the end of the race. He's running out of time. 2.5 laps to go here. Sol Invictus in 5th, doing pretty good here. We got Gotti here in 6th place. We've got Prince in 7th with Philantis here in 8th. Jim in 9th place here, so he's moved up another spot. Deathatron's got another spot there as well, up into the top 10, as Jojo has found down into 11th with Jodo in behind in 12th, and lead right there. Lead is just on the heels of Jodo there, so settle down. The race has settled down here in the last couple laps. Pace is starting to sort out. Our driver's just thinking about when they want to try and make that move on the next guy ahead here, maybe. I'm not sure, but we do have Dennis has gotten around Sol Invictus and Nick here, so Sol Invictus gotten around Nick as well. And now we're going to see Dennis move up into P2 here, so but he's going to get a response back from Droopy Designs, and a little bit wide there does go Dennis. And he's still going to manage to stay in 2nd place there. So Droopy's going to settle in behind there in 3rd place. That allows the rest of the pack to close in a little bit. Sol Invictus there with 4th place. That gives Nick a little bit of a better run there in 5th place. And Gotti is in this fight here now. So 5-way battle from 2nd to 6th place here. Developing at the end of this race. We got Prince in 7th, Jim and Deathatron getting very close together here in 8th and 9th. We have Jojo now up into 10th, so there we go. We have Giotto in 11th. We got lead in 12th, and Philantis has made a mistake and dropped himself down into the back now. So Vanderspeck well up the road here, 3.1 seconds. He needed the guys behind just to battle a little bit, and they did. So he's got a little bit of a comfortable lead here, not take a big deep breath of sigh relief kind of lead, and my capture card froze again. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but we're not going to adjust it now, again being so close to the end of the race here. I don't know why it's doing that today. It's just not happy, I guess. So it's Van der Speck here in P1. We've got Dennis here in second place, and still a healthy battle here for this final podium position now as Sol Invictus is closing in on Nick as well. On Droopy, pardon me. Nick chasing Sol Invictus in behind, and Gotti there in 6th place. So final lap here, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Van der Speck in the lead of this race. So he's just got to get this thing safely around this racetrack. One more lap around here, and should be able to bring home the race win. Dennis in 2nd place, still fighting for that 2nd place here as Droopy and Sol Invictus were right there, but these two are starting to battle for P3 here, so it might be good for Dennis just to get a little quick runaway from this battle and secure home another podium finish here this weekend. And here we go, side by side as we come out of Renault into Repsol, and it is Sol Invictus, and he is going to get the position done for the time being here, and it looks like Droopy Designs is not done with this battle yet, so gonna stick on with this little group right here. This is definitely where the heat is on the racetrack right now, and Droopy Designs now sitting in 4th place, and he's got about a half a racetrack to try and make something happen here on Sol Invictus in 3rd place to get back on that podium. So here we go, great battle here right now. This has been a great battle up front all race long, and it is starting to sort itself out here. Ooh, big wide exit there from Sol. And that is going to be Droopy up into P3 there as he is... Oh, we got a little bit of contact going on in behind here, so I'm not sure what's happened there. Did the gal get settled out? It looks like they sorted it out. So it is going to be Van der Speck coming around here. Ooh, almost lost it out of Eurocar there. So one more corner. And this is going to be a race finish here for him here as well as he comes across with a sprint race win. Dennis is going to take 2nd place. Droopy Designs is going to take 3rd. Gotti is going to get 4th place. Sol Invictus is going to take 5th with Nick in 6th. Prince is going to come around here in 7th with Jojo coming around here in 8th. He's got Deathatron and the group following very close behind. It's going to be Jojo, Deathatron in 9th, Jim in 10th. Here we go. It's going to be Johto in 11th. It's going to be Lead in 12th place. And it's going to be Philantis rounding out our field here today. And something happened right at the end of the race there to Philantis. And just ending his race here for him today. So super unfortunate there for that driver. But he's still going to get it around. He's still going to bring this thing across that checkered flag. And that is absolutely fantastic to see. So there we go. 13th position finish there for Philantis here today, and I apologize about the audio cutout here again today, chat. I'm not sure what's happening with that. Capture card's just not very happy today, I guess. Alright, so finishing results, it is Van der Speck in 1st place, Dennis in 2nd with that fastest lap of 39.655. It is Droopy Designs in 3rd. It's Gotti here in 4th with Nick in 5th, Sol Invictus in 6th with Prince in 7th, and Jojo in 8th. Our second list here is Deathatron in 9th with Jim in 10th, Jodo in 11th, and Lead in 12th place. And Philantis having a mix-up there at the end of the race and ended up down in 13th position there. So some good racing here from our Porsche Cup drivers today. And, wow. They were fast. They were definitely fast. So, what else can we say, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed the WSR Porsche Cup Season 5 Round 2. Spicy racing with the new physics today. Lots of doors rubbing racing here today. It's going to be interesting to see where everybody settles after the standings. Of course, our Split 1 division running at the same time as well today with the GTLMs, and I believe the I'm not sure what the other division is. 5 divisions total here with the WSR Porsche Cup. Of course, Urban Pirate over there taking care of a couple of our divisions here today over on his YouTube channel, and of course Primadino taking care of that pro division over there on his Twitch channel as well for WSR Porsche Cup. So first and foremost, thanks to everybody for being here. Thanks for all the likes, shares, and comments. I hope everybody enjoyed again the great Porsche racing scene on screen here today. And we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. So April 16th, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with Round 3 at Dragon Trail Seaside with our Porsche drivers here at WSR Porsche Cup Season 5. And we'll continue the battle on the racetrack then. So thank you so much for being here. Again, presented by WSR Porsche Cup Wheel Spin Racing. And I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast today. I hope you all enjoyed the action on the racetrack, and I hope you all enjoyed our new production crews. Got a little extra features here. We got some of them replays back so we can relive some of the great moments and catch some of the moments we missed. So I just want to say a big thank you to, of course, GT7 and PD for finally bringing us our broadcasting features back to us so we can do what we do best. We appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the races. Stay winning. Brandon Sherrilt's coming in with that share as well. We appreciate you, my guy, the extra support. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you all matter. So our doors are always open here at GT45 Gaming in our community. You need somebody just to lean on and vent out to a little bit. We're here for everybody. We do the best we can for each individual member of the community. And you're never alone, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag We Race as One is there for a reason, because we're just one big happy family at the end of the day. We're competitors on track and friends off the racetrack, and that's why we do what we do here at WSR Porsche Cup and sim racing as a whole. We appreciate you, everybody. Mark coming in with that like. How you doing, my guy? And I think we're going to go raid somebody. Let's go do a raid. Let's go see who's raidable right now. Let us go see. I like to raid littler streamers. These guys are all mega big streamers. Yeah, we'll take a pass on the raid today. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate your time. Send you off with just a little bit of exit music here tonight. Hope you enjoy this tunes, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, April 16th, for round 3 of WSR Porsche Cup. Cheers, and have a great remaining weekend. We love you.